Hello again, this is Sam Houston, and welcome to My Front Porch. The July 4th Parade and Fireworks Display. One of the many great things about living in Granbury is the July 4th celebration. It seems that everything wonderful about the 4th is on full display. Families and neighbors by the thousands line the street to view the parades and celebrate our Declaration of Independence. People start lining the streets and securing their post hours before the parade, hoping to get the best vantage points. Hours are spent by participants preparing their float to be the best decorated and admired float in the parade. There'll be antique cars, horses, youth groups, church groups, and a variety of clubs all coming together to celebrate in true Granbury fashion. It's quite a sight to behold. I have heard estimates of as many as 15,000 people line up to observe the 4th of July parade, and it's anyone's guess how many people observe the fireworks display. It's a scene which best depicts small-town America. Community, patriotism, family, and friends. I cannot help but recall 3 or 4 years ago when Granbury was struck with a 4-inch rain just prior to the start of the parade. Attendees and participants were drenched like they'd been hit by a tsunami. Despite the inclement weather, the citizens of Granbury did the only reasonable thing to do. They went ahead with the parade. Everybody was soaking wet. Water was running over the curbs, but people of Hood County would not be deterred. The 4th is our holiday, and a cloudburst of rain was not going to ruin it for us. Personally, I think it'll probably always be my favorite memory of the parade. It was one heck of a rain-soaked time, and as I recall, everybody loved it. With all this being said, there is a message I wish to get out as loudly and clearly as I can. In years past, parade participants would throw candy or other similar treats into the crowd as they marched by. A lot of you readers may have memories of scampering to pick up candy which had been thrown by a passing float. Unfortunately, the time has come to end the practice. It simply poses too great a risk of injury. Now, I can almost hear some readers saying, "Bull feathers. Candy has always been thrown at the parade, and there's no good reason to stop. That's one of the things about the parade that make it fun." Well, it's hard for me to argue that seeing kids scamper to catch or pick up candy is not fun. But the reality is it's a dangerous practice. While it's not happened at our parade, there have been other parades where a child seeking to pick up candy has run into the parade route and been run over by a vehicle. There's also been incidents where people have been injured after being struck by thrown candy. This is the reason why many parades now put up road barriers along the route so the crowd is a good 30 or 40 feet away from the parade, and children can't run out into the right-of-way. Unfortunately, because of the distance traveled on the parade route, running barriers is not an option in Granbury. It would simply be cost prohibitive. The alternative solution is that parade participants will be permitted to have members of their float team walk along the side of the right-of-way and pass out candy. There should be no throwing from the floats or any other location. Anyone who violates this policy may be barred from participating in parades in the future. As a kid, I rode in the back of a pickup truck while being driven down a county road. I also rode up in the front seat of my folks' car without a seatbelt while sitting on the center console. Fortunately, we have learned these are not safe practices, and to protect children, we no longer allow them to happen, even if they are fun. Instead, we take steps to protect our children so they can enjoy a great many more 4ths of July. Remember, be responsible and follow this reasonable directive. Don't disregard the rules and risk injury to one of our friends and neighbors. One of the things we celebrate on Independence Day is our right to freedom of expression. If there's a float in the parade which supports the position which you oppose, you have every right to feel that way. But I urge you to demonstrate a little class. Expressing hate and vitriol is not required to express your opposition to an idea. The parade should be a time of fun and community coming together, not a time of political muckraking and anger. This is the 4th of July parade, and it's our time to shine. Let's all enjoy the parade, but do so safely, so the day will be remembered for all the right reasons. Thought for the day. A real patriot is the fellow who gets a parking ticket and rejoices that the system works. Bill Vaughn. Until next time, I'll keep riding the storm.
You've been listening to From My Front Porch with Sam Houston, brought to you by the Granbury Theater Company. You can catch Sam's column every week in the print edition of the Hood County News or online at hcnews.com.